Hello everyone and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, now in the 40th anniversary edition. We are going to take a look at the individual aircraft that have been released for the sim. Some of you already know what we're taking a look at today. We are in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, visiting the birthplace of aviation, arguably Dayton, Ohio, if you're an Ohioan. But let's be honest, this is where the flight of both Wilbur and Orville Wright first took place, in the very, very famous Wright Flyer, just down here. And this is free scenery provided to us by Asobo. December 17th, 1903. Very, very cool looking, very high fidelity too. Little displays. And then obviously okay, go away. I don't care. I'm not offline. I'm literally streaming something in the background. And a very nice diorama. I don't remember if it was Wilbur or Orville who actually flew on the Wright Flyer when it flew, but there's one of them, and then there's the other. Sled type aircraft, very, very, very early. No ailerons to speak of. Just a simple elevator in the front and a rudder in the rear to control flight. All good, we're reconnected, imagine that. And some onlookers in the background. Very, very cool. I'm assuming these are some sort of cast statue, maybe like a bronze or a brass. Probably not brass, but like a bronze or something. And I think that's about it for out here. This looks like standard flight sim nonsense. And then obviously this is the very cool monument that we were just at, with buses of both Wilbur and Orville Wright. In what appears to be copper, just based off of the oxidation there. But nonetheless, dude, go away. Just stop telling me. How about that? Interesting. I did not know that Congress built this monument here, but a very nice, cool wing-inspired monument here. But we're not here to look at scenery, obviously. This is a flight channel, and we look at airplanes. So, over on the runway here, just out there in the distance, you can probably see it. Let's get a little bit closer. It is none other than the Wright Flyer. And we're going to get it up, do a quick and dirty flight today, take a look at the textures on it, and close out for today. Let's begin. Now, I don't remember which version of Flight Simulator it was. It might have been 2004, but there was a Wright Flyer in a previous version of Flight Simulator, and it was rough. I mean, not to say it, the Wright Flyer was a very early airplane, but it is cool to have something like this, even if it is just a novelty aircraft in the sim. You know, it's kind of like you'll fly it once or twice and probably never use it again. But the level of detail on things is very nice. Obviously, we've got our little tiny inline-4 engine, it looks like, with chain drives going to each prop either side, right next to our brave Wright brother flying. A anemometer for wind speed, just to his right side. You can actually even see some of the internals of the engine, so the valve springs and that sort of stuff floating as the engine oscillates. So we're through a prop here. I mean, I'm not really going to worry about textures. They are good. I mean, geez, you can see the individual weave on the fabric there. This was pretty dope in fabric, even. It was when they just had fabric. Nice detail on the cabling. Trying to get a better look at these instruments here. So I'm guessing the bottommost one is an altimeter, and then above that we have a chronometer. Interesting. I'd be interested to see where that anemometer went to. It's like I'm not sure. Is that a breather for the engine? That goes into like this weird manifold thing here. So little notes. Click here to hide, unhide the catapult. Oh, okay, so that's a little instruction for us. Will be launch automatic. Come on, Asobo, what are you doing? If you bought this from someone, fix the text. Anyway. That's, I think that's going to do it for our, textures. Let's go into a takeoff here. Obviously, we've got, our very basic controls. You've got up, you got down, and you have rudder left and right, which is on this body sled here. So if we go outside, you can see he does a little hip wiggle. Oh, and it does look like it's actually bending the wings slightly too, so you do get a little bit of a aileron effect in conjunction with the elevator. But nonetheless, let's get the catapults on here. Nope, stop. Obviously no wheels, so no wheel brakes to speak of. Flipping through the catapult, that's cool. Oh, okay, so it's a nice big catapult there. So if I stop, and I... Is that doing anything? Okay, so it's there. Click. Still there. Whatever. It's a very small airplane, so we're going to go ahead and throttle up here. See if we can't get airborne without the catapult. Anemometer is working away. We'll pull back ever so gently on our leading elevator, and there we go, taking flight in Kitty Hawk, the Wright Flyer. Now, I don't remember what the original flight record was. It was 100 some odd feet, I think, or just shy, or just over 100-ish feet. Yeah, so sample in the edit here. Turns out, no. They did several flights, and according to Google, they were distances of 120, 175, 200, and 852 feet. To further disprove my point, the Wright Flyer 3, according to Google, flew 24 miles. So, there goes, I don't know, the little bit of neurons I did still have firing in my brain for memory. I need to work on neuroplasticity. Anyway, back to the video. And I can see why. This is not a airplane you're going to go sightseeing in anytime soon. Yeah, we got our launch, and then, yep, alright, and we're down. There we go. So, interesting nonetheless. Let's take a look at the catapult here. We'll probably close it out. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward airplane, no lights or anything to speak of, so it looks like you've got a big counterweight that, as that drops, pulls this guy forward and then launches you. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Let me do a I'm going to reset the flight here, and we'll try the catapult launch, see if I can get it to work. And if not, we'll just close it out. Alright, back in the Wright Flyer for an attempted catapult launch. There we go. We're on top of the catapult now, which is good. And yeah, we're hooked up, so that's what we want. Just real quick, we'll go through some of the external views, because this is, I apologize, it is going to be a really short video. So that's it for your fancy views. Okay, so to utilize, we need to advance throttle to 100% for a few seconds, and then the catapult should automatically launch. Okay, so there's the 100% throttle. Doesn't sound like the engine's changed, but I've got my throttles advanced to 100. There we go, and there's the catapult, and we're in the air. Very cool. So we just kind of have to feather margin the aircraft. We're not going to be getting any climb out of it. Really, it's basically a mildly powered glider, if you will. We'll attempt again for a touchdown on the grass here. Ever so gently. We're still going. Barely. Deep within ground effect. There we go. Alright, there's the touchdown. So, neat concept. That is the Wright flyer. I have a reckless idea that I'm going to try. Okay, so definitely not using slew mode. I am perfectly stationary and several hundred feet above the ground now. What if the Wright brothers had a little bit of a boost, you know? And what if they were able to, I don't know, start it from the air? How far could you get? So we're essentially at the threshold of the runway there. Oh, we're cruising. Look at that. I've got so much forward power that I actually can climb briefly. I mean, we're still not going to get anywhere. It literally looks like we're stationary. Like we're barely moving. And I do have live weather enabled, so any gusts are going to probably just put us at a 0 or negative speed. Let's see if I can circle around to land runway 21. As far as I remember and as far as I can tell in the sim, there is no actual throttle in this aircraft. The engine was either on and running at whatever RPM it was set to. I'm assuming via like an idler screw or something, or it was shut down. It's crazy to think that we came from, you know, something like this to aircraft now like the A350 or the 787 or huge stuff like the A380 or the recently gone AN225. You know, it's crazy to think, you know, what is it, 200 years? 1903, I think? So, yeah. Oh, we're out of gas. Alright, so we're out of gas. I guess that's going to cut my little monologue short. Look at us, we're cruising with the birds! We're birds. Or we're a bird. Cool. I'm going to start a descent here. And we'll circle to land on runway 3 now, since we're too high, obviously, for runway 21. And we'll see see what sort of trouble I can get up to. While I'm descending, I'm going to see if I can get the speed back up to where those props are spinning at a similar rate to what they were doing before. Obviously, the VNE of this aircraft isn't published. It never flew anywhere near what, you know, the structural limits would be. Distance, altitude, or speed-wise, so there really shouldn't be a published figure, so I guess we'll find out together. Let's go into a dive. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. Oh, you can hear it creaking. Like I mentioned before in the other videos, we are doing this without FS Realistic Pro or anything else running in the background. It's just default flight sim with the Google Map enhancement as well as the colorful EMB that I have overlaid on it, which I can turn off like so. So there's boring, bland flight sim. Bleh. And there's flight sim with a little bit of an EMB. Definitely better in my opinion. I think we're going to be going down in the forest over here, folks. I horribly miscalculated. I'm going to try to get turned around here. Oh boy. It's not a happy camper. Keep turning left, friend. Nope, we're stalling. That's a rough one, eh? And there we go. The Wright Flyer. Right on time, Flight Sim. Right on time. And I'll put an ugly green connected banner back in front of me while I do my outro. Anyway, you guys, that's going to do it for this video and look at the Wright Flyer. We'll be back with more airplanes in the next episode for Flight Sim. Until then, feel free to check out some of the DCS content that I have up. And if not, that's fine. I will catch you in the next episode. As always, take it easy. It literally did it as I said the last words. Oh.